So look, we're going to spend most of our time getting into your views on the markets and the economy, but before we get into that, I think it's worth stepping back and touching on the foundation of everything that we're going to talk about subsequently, which is the investment team structure. And I think while many people may know that you lead the investment team, what they may not know is that you were the main architect of the process itself, which has been used for almost 20 years now. So you started with basically a blank sheet of paper,
right.
And you drew off of Adam Smith's work and the Wealth of Nations and the division of labor concept. You even looped in Danny Kahneman, the Nobel Prize winner for behavioral economics. Right. So you have some really interesting building blocks that you use to build the structure that you're using. So I thought we should at least step back and put that out there.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, when I used to run risk for fixed income in Europe and in the U.S. For a number of Wall Street firms, and so I watched the behavior on the buy side, and in those days you could run trading like a hedge fund, which is the way I did, and so when we started the investment management business, I wasn't smart enough to really look at how anybody else did it. So I never really even considered the idea to look at somebody like PIMCO or BlackRock or anybody in the industry. I just sat down and said, how should this process work? And as you've mentioned, Adam Smith and his work on the segregation of duties, and that by segregating duties, not only do you increase efficiency, but you increase the quality of work. And then I was fortunate at that time because I went to the University of Chicago, and one of my partners is a member of the Board of Trustees, to have the opportunity to meet Danny. And Danny at that point had not yet won the Nobel Prize, but he had a lot of interesting things, and he made some interesting observations. One is that investors sell when they should buy, and they buy when they should sell. Among other observations I think everybody here would easily recognize. But as the only Nobel Prize laureate in economics to ever win the prize who does not have a degree in economics, Danny is a psychologist. His study of human behavior in investing, he was able to empirically prove that people systematically make bad investment decisions, and for that he won the Nobel Prize. So, but it's interesting because when you talk with Danny and you listen to him and how you make decisions, he says very few things, but he asks questions, and obviously a brilliant man. And if anybody is not familiar with his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, it's not just a great book on investing, it's a great book on virtually everything. Yeah. And Danny is well deserving of the prize, I think. And the latest news, which I think Danny just agreed to join our board of directors. So we are the only asset manager in the world where Danny Kahneman has actually been willing to lend his name and credibility to an asset management firm.
So you've built this collaborative team, kind of slow thinking structure.
Right.
So it's really, I think what's clear to us is that it's not really the Scott Minerd show, right? It's not you sitting in an office saying duration should be X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, just don't tell my partners.
Yeah.